Well, it is National Signing Day for college football programs across the country, and the University of South Dakota is no different. The Coyotes bring in 16 new players into the program here on Wednesday, and joining me now to talk a little bit more about that group is head coach Bob Nielson. Bob, first off, congratulations. I know this is always a very stressful time until you get these guys across the finish line, but here we are, and you've got a new crop of Coyotes to work with.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. It's a lot of hard work by a great staff that we have here at the University of South Dakota to build relationships with a tremendous group of young men and their families, and continue to build forward on the future of Coyote football.
Now, you've been at this a long time. I feel safe in assuming that this was unlike any other recruiting cycle you've gone through. So can you just talk about the impact all these different circumstances how they came into play and how it actually impacted you guys getting to this point?
Weird is what, the word that comes to mind. You think about this cycle and the fact that since last March, the middle of last March, we've been in what's referred to as a dead period of recruiting, which means we couldn't go off campus as a football staff and have any contact or even evaluate any prospects. Prospects couldn't come to your campus to meet with you as a coaching staff. And so what it did is it forced us into this virtual world of recruiting. We've got young men that are in this class that never stepped foot on our campus, which is strange. But through some of the things that you're allowed to use, like FaceTime and Zoom, and obviously the telephone was a big part of this. We were still able to build the kind of relationships that you need to attract outstanding young men who are outstanding students and outstanding football players.
In some ways, did that heighten the accomplishment of getting this thing done and getting these guys to commit to your program?
Well, I know we feel really good. It's the other thing that's really weird is the fact that it's a year in which you truly don't have any seniors. In our case, the vast majority of our seniors are planning to return. It really forced you to prioritize within this recruiting class. As everybody can see, it's a smaller number than what we normally would bring in, and that's as a result of the fact that we have great retention in our program and have a group of young men right now that are working exceptionally hard. But I think what it did is it really put a priority on us identifying the right people and the fit that they're going to have in our program to be a part of this class.
Talk a little bit more about those fits. What are some of the attributes that you guys were really looking for in this group of 2021 kids? And ultimately, do you feel like you were able to get what you needed out of it?
Yeah, I think there's two things that stand out in the class. We don't have people at every position group. Some of that was based on our recruiting class from a year ago and the numbers that we took in those position groups a year ago. Certainly, again, we've got some good frames that we can build some outstanding linemen with, which has to be a part of every recruiting class on both sides of the football. And also some very, very talented playmakers as far as skill players. And so those two areas were a big focus for us in this recruiting class. And we feel like we addressed those things.
You had kind of a new piece to sell this year within your program, and that, of course, is the newly renovated Dakota Dome, and what a place it's been. Now, a lot of these guys, as you said, have yet to set foot in that place and are probably going to be awestruck when they finally do. But even with not being able to show those guys in person, do you feel like that project is kind of already paying dividends toward this? Because this is such a huge piece of the puzzle to recruiting anymore.
Without question, that demonstrates a strong commitment by the institution to Division I football and the experience that our student athletes are going to have here as a part of our program. It would have been nice to show them those facilities in person. I think you can no matter how you see them, whether it's in picture or it doesn't do justice to being actually in the facility. But having those facilities in now another great factor in our recruiting process, and more importantly, really important factor in the development of our program.
All right, Bob. Well, congratulations on what looks to be another really solid group of 2021 recruits, and appreciate you taking a little time to talk a little bit about them with us today.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. Appreciate it.